point victories, and we are underway here in Madison. Both these teams come in 0-1 in the Big Ten. Wisconsin fell at Iowa Friday night, and Northwestern defeated Maryland 27-12.
Offense here.
Easy on the push.
And we know that Coach Bono and his staff, they're really high on Ingham. An opportunity for him, and you know, for Alex Clemson, you know, the Maryland coach, an opportunity for him with this matchup right here with Bronson John, the higher-ranked wrestler here at this point in the season, and you know, guy that likes to take a little bit of territory, an opportunity for him to, you know, just don't want to lose these matches here. This is a really important match for here national qualifying and getting a good Big Ten seed.
Ingham winning inside Hawkeye Arena on Friday night. He beat Harvey Ludington 10-8. He's got 6 wins in a row, 5 of those bonus point victories. The 2-time state champion, as I mentioned, from Amory, Wisconsin. A high school teammate of Coy Hopke, who was the heavyweight at Minnesota. Really good program there in Wisconsin on the state's west side. No score, 145 here in the first. Bronson John, a national qualifier last season, down at 174. He was 6th at the Big Tens as a 12 seed. And really impressive, Jim, up 2 weight classes here to 197.
Yeah. And when you do that, move up weight classes like this, I mean, you just want to make sure that you can handle the straight-on strength here of guys that are already been in that weight class here for a while.
Bronson John, 5-1 in duels. His only dual meet loss to Max Stout of Pitt. He won the Southeast Open and the Journeyman Classic. He was 3rd at the Southern Scuffle. That was his other loss in the season to Penn State's Josh Barr. He's from Clovis, California, a state placer at Buchanan. 45 seconds to go here in the first period. How do we see some offense, Jim?
Well, right there, you saw where John was able to get to the corner. And he's the one that's been moving forward and taking the territory in this match. And you got the stall warning. You see little, you know, shot fakes and things like that from Ingham. Both guys pretty much squared on, but, you know, a little action right there. John gets to a shot right here. He's able to shelf the leg. Nice job of working to maybe a situation where he can switch off to a double. He's got the bottom leg hooked.
Still neutral, down to 15 seconds, looking for that short time takedown, and he's got it.
Nice job of just, you know, almost had him in a neutral danger position right there, pretty close, but also able to go ahead and change over. Collected a little Navy ride as Ingham kind of tried to counter it here, but
huge takedown in short time.
Yeah, coming across, and then right here he's, you know, basically threatening it. But I like what he did right there, switching off to that Navy ride right there, underhooking the far leg, excuse me.
Hold set.
And man, we talked about this before. You know, matches like this, unanswered takedowns, ride outs. You know, being able to score. That was a good shot, good penetration, good finish, an excellent ride out.
And now he's on bottom and quickly. 5-second escape. And a 4-0 lead for the true sophomore Bronson John.
Yeah, we overemphasize this maybe a little bit, but, you know, it's true. You get that takedown and ride out, you get that 3-0 lead. You know, now you take the down position, and, you know, you don't even have to have a great shot. And you know, a lot of times you get to your feet, the man will let you up anyway, and you got a 4-0 lead.
And here's a shot from Ingham trying to clear that left ankle. He's looking to make the turn, put himself right back into this match.
I think he needs to keep on going in that direction here. He comes back the other direction here.
You hear the neutral danger, and Ingham has a takedown. Each guy with a takedown. It is a 4-3 match.
Yeah, good job of feeling that, but you see where Bronson John kind of bailed on that situation when he started counting that neutral danger count. 2 count, he actually gave it up at that point.
I like how the pace is picked up here in the second period.
Yeah, these guys are out to score.
Ranked matchup, Ingham 28th in the country, Bronson John 15th in the country. Josh Barr ranked #1 from Penn State. Rocky Elam, Iowa State ranked 2nd. Stephen Little of Little Rock, Iowa's Musama and Dean ranked 4th, and Wyoming's Joey Novak rounded the top 5 in the rankings. Half a minute remaining here in the second period. There's a shot from Ingham.
Able to get to the, actually, yeah, Ingham's
Counterattack from John. He's in position to score.
Keep working, man.
Yeah, Ingham basically getting out right there with the
Wisconsin in the white singlet. And we will take a 5-3 score to the third.
Yeah, you can see where John able to get on. Actually, there's Ingham's shot right there is out to come out the back door here. Comes the other side, able to get the neutral danger count here. Doing pretty well with that here, stepping right back into it on the scramble.
So now Ingham will go on bottom. Quickly works to his feet off the whistle. John looking for a mat return. And he will cut the Badger, and we got ourselves a one-point match here in this third period. Both guys with a takedown.
Nice job of changing levels. You see where, Bronson John maybe slowing down a little bit here in this match. He's doing a good job of stuffing head right here over the top. Now a drag attempt, now back into the single leg, but notice how the penetration isn't as deep. That gives Ingham an opportunity to drive him across and takes him right into Illinois.
That is a great flurry. Here's head coach Chris Bono. Good action here.
So all the way off the mat right there, driving him off.
Half shot there from Ingham. That'll draw a stall call on Bronson John. As guys are forehead to forehead. 1:10 here in the third. First match in this duel meet here at 197.
Now both guys have been warned.
Another shot. Again, no angle.
No setup right there, okay? But, sometimes you shoot to be getting the second shot right there. Good job by John squaring up. But you notice when he has an opportunity to get the advantage right here, he's not taking the deep penetrating shot right there. Now he's got an opportunity to score if he just drives, and he does.
Bronson John able to score the takedown. He leads it 8-4. In a situation there, maybe taking advantage of Ingham being a little bit over-aggressive.
Yeah, a little, shooting from distance like that, there really wasn't a great setup, and he looked like he had done the work to basically tire John out a little bit.
Bronson John knocking on the door of 20 victories. Couple of takedowns in this match. Sinks in a claw ride. And the Terrapins off to a good start as they get the decision here at 197 from Bronson John. Now 18-2.
Yeah, Bronson John was able to go ahead and get that angle there on that shot, right? Did a good job of keeping his head up, keeping his feet moving on that closing takedown here with the ride out. Gets an angle on the shot right there, drives right through, keeps his head up, keeps the wrinkle in the back of his neck, laces up, collects the points. Big win.
285 pounds for Wisconsin. It's Braxton Amos, ranked 9th in the nation, the two-time NCAA qualifier, down at 197. And Oscar Williams, a redshirt freshman, wrestled at Edmond North in Oklahoma. Braxton Amos, 11-2, 8 bonus point victories. I've not seen him in a couple of years. And he's looking a whole lot different, coming up from 197. He weighed in today at 270.
That's amazing. Right, we heard about Trent Hilger, the effort that he put to Wisconsin All-American heavyweight from a few years back, where he put on the pounds. But this guy's, he's thick. You take a look at him right now. He's thick. It's hard to believe that he wrestled at 197 2 years ago.
He's from Mineral Wells, West Virginia. Parkersburg South, a 3-time state champion. Multiple Fargo titles.
Wow.
He was the 2020 Dave Schultz High School Excellence Award winner. A lot of talent, and he shows you there in the first 15.
Yeah, and a beautiful little takedown there below the knees. If you can bring your technique from 197 up to heavyweight, you're going to be pretty effective, and that's why you see the number by his name, ranked number 9 in the country.
Coming off a loss on Friday night against Ben Keener. Dropped that match to the Hawkeye 4-1 in sudden victory. His other loss to Younger Bastida, top-ranked of Iowa State. That was in the finals of the Cyclone Invite earlier this season.
Yeah, he can hang in matches his Greco background. He understands the ties. But, he's also has some, really good shots. Right there, straight on double leg.
Look at that.
Nice job of penetrating and not only getting, with his hands behind the knees, but following up with another collision, so to speak, to knock Williams down.
Talk about his Greco prowess, a senior world team member in 2022. In 2021, he was a junior world freestyle champion, and he was a junior world bronze medalist in Greco. So a really deep skill set.
Watch his headgear for me.
Took an Olympic red shirt in 2024, his regular red shirt last season. He brought the offense. His third takedown.
Yeah, with that, Greco background here, you can go ahead and get the tie that you want, advantage tie, take a little territory, cut the man free a little bit, and Williams took a diving shot, was able to hit the go behind, and now he's got an opportunity to get some back points here with the arm behind the back.
3, 4. Same hold. Same hold.
You hear the official saying same hold, and that is why
Now 4.
they were holding the 4 in the pocket. They award the points, and he gets right back to work on top. Smashes that head in the Resolite.
He's looking back to the corner. Oh, I don't know what the corner's going to tell him. Just continue to work that arm that you've got right there, and he gets another count.
Has an arm bar. He's got Williams on his back. He's going to settle in. Braxton Amos looking for his 5th fall of the season in the Badger. Puts Wisconsin out in front 6-3. Braxton Amos now 12-2 on the season. The first period fall.
Yeah, definitely getting a little bit of confidence there. Looking back to the corner here. Ends up following this wing over, and it gets the head up off the mat. It's got a count going right now, but switches over the half over the top. Once again, gets the head off the mat. The shoulders are down.
6-3 Wisconsin. Rivera, Jim, ranked 11th in the nation at a wild and crazy 125. This guy could have a special season. He's got the skill set.
Yeah, he does, and he's just got done watching last year his teammate. We'll see next year Zan Fugitt basically become an All-American, kind of coming out of nowhere last year. Got hot at the end of the season. So, when those types of things happen, and the guy that you've had your hands on as a workout partner and all that stuff, I mean, you want a taste of that as well here. And Meckler Rivera's off to a great start, 11-1 record.
3-time state champion from Stoughton, Wisconsin. A lot of history in that program. Co-head coaches Dan Spildy and Bob Empey. Dan Spildy was a Big Ten champion. A lot of history. Stoughton, Wisconsin with Andy Ryan, world Olympic silver medalist in '84. Russ Hellickson, silver medalist in 1976. Nice level change there from Rivera.
Both those men you mentioned there were coaches at the University of Wisconsin.
Russ Hellickson went on to Ohio State. Preston Sanchez from Omaha, Nebraska. Creighton Prep was a 4-time medalist and a state champion for Andrew Fisher.
Oh, nice
duck under once again.
Shot right into that elbow tie right there.
Keep working.
Sanchez has a little advantage right now. Can he drop his shoulder? Followed up with a shot. Now another attempt there off of the elbow tie there to the left for Rivera.
No score, 115. Pretty good pace in this first period. Rivera last season was 24-7, 4th at the Big Tens. He was the 11th seed. Fell to Luke Lillidahl of Penn State, 7-3 in the blood round.
And with those committed attempts there, Meckler Rivera gets a stall warning on Sanchez.
Taking territory.
There it is.
Right back to that again. How does he finish that, Jim? We've seen it 3-4 times now.
Well, we've seen it to both sides, So if he has an elbow tie, he's willing to go ahead and, flare his ankles out and drop his level. And if it's just, he needs to get a little bit deeper and maybe push into him a little bit more before you drop to that, because you can see that that Sanchez is not giving him any push into it. So a lot of those elbow tie techniques, you want to get the guy moving into you, and that's really not happening. So maybe you got to put a little more forward pressure. See, there's no forward pressure here by Sanchez, and that elbow pass situation works a lot better when you've got the man pushing into you. So push into him, he pushes back, then you go.
Final 10 seconds as Rivera had a 2-on-1 snagged.
See, there's just no full pressure. Nice work there. Almost gets it.
So close, but time runs out. 0-0 after 3 minutes. Chris Bono in his 8th season at Wisconsin was at South Dakota State before coming to Madison. Began his coaching career as a head coach at Chattanooga. Was an assistant at Iowa State. And congratulations to Chris Bono. This past October, inducted into the Iowa State Hall of Fame. Tremendous honor. He was a 3-time All-American, a 2-time national finalist. Won the title for the Cyclones in 1996. Couple-time conference champion as well, and the Iowa State Male Athlete of the Year in 1997. That's a big honor as Rivera puts President Sanchez on his back.
Just going to probably end up getting a reversal for it, but I love what he's doing really. Notice how he got to his feet. He started looking for the big move right away.
Keep working here.
2-0 with the reversal. Almost scored some near-fall points.
Yeah, no near-fall points on that, but I like when he popped up to his feet, he was looking for that neck wrench the whole way. You know, and that just gives you a reputation of being dangerous underneath, and it allows you to get quicker escapes later in the year because people know you're dangerous. There now, cross wrist tilt right there working for Rivera.
Looking to roll through.
Yeah.
Loads up once again. He's got that reversal, the 2-0 lead. We're in Wisconsin, Jim. That is a good old-fashioned coffee grinder, my friend.
Back to a claw ride.
Even our producer, Jeff Sermon, saying, Jim, today, you can't debate it.
No, there's no debate, right?
I'll
concede that, Shane.
Tight waist, riding time over 45 seconds as Rivera had a leg slid in.
We don't want to confuse anybody that's not here at the meet to watch him from Wisconsin, so.
Rivera's only loss to Bridger Ricks of Utah Valley in the dual meet.
Green stop.
Here's that reversal.
Yeah, look at the big move right there, okay? You know, Sanchez probably would have been better at this point in time just to let it go, but now he's given up the, reversal and...
Could have been worse.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse, and then giving up some riding time.
Lost to Bridger Ricks. 11-8 in sudden victory back in mid-December. He had beaten Ricks at the Cyclone Open on November 8th, 5-1. Wrestling, that's fantastic. Indiana and Ohio State wrestling on Big Ten Plus today as Nicolau Rivera looking to break that 45-degree plane. And now he's going to get some near-fall points inside of 15 seconds. Good period for the Badger with the reversal and near-fall. And he has opened things up. He is in command, 6-0 to the third.
Well, you certainly like the aggression from Nicolau Rivera. You know, you saw the 4 or 5 really committed shots in the first period. He wasn't able to score there, but then able to go ahead and pop up, get the reversal, and when immediately gets in the top position, hits that side tilt action right there. That's great work. I mean, just his intensity is really high so far in this match.
Sanchez goes on bottom. Sanchez Friday at Northwestern dropped a 5-2 decision to Diedrich Navarro in Maryland's 27-12 loss to the Wildcats. Mentioned Creighton Prep, Jim. I did a dual meet with Creighton Prep at Scott Catholic this past week. The best high school wrestling atmosphere I have ever seen. Creighton Prep, a really good team. They beat Scott Catholic, home of Thomas Gilman. They've won 22 Nebraska State titles, some dual meet titles as well. It was fantastic.
And you were talking about the student sections. You raved about it. Yeah.
It was so good. The Scott student section, the Creighton Prep student section, I mean, they were into it. It was a packed house, just a phenomenal night. It was this past Thursday night.
Yeah.
That is where President Sanchez wrestled for Coach Andrew Fisher.
And you're chanting during the match. There was a caution, and the guys started cheering. You can't do that.
It was great.
Same stuff you'd see at a basketball game.
I've been to a lot of high school dual meets. That was the best atmosphere I've ever been to. It was a triangular with Creighton Prep, Scott Catholic, and Norfolk. Good time. Rivera down to a hand. Now he works back up. He's up by 5. He's got the riding time locked up. So Rivera and the Badgers looking for bonus points are at 125. We've seen that several times. Good counter here from Sanchez. Hard whizzer there from Rivera, and he scores 3 more.
Well, he did so many good things right there. Sanchez had dropped in on a leg, looked like he might be able to score. He backed out of it, but he just went double overs on him here, pulled his leg, put his leg down, and ended up throwing him there.
Crossbody ride with the leg in.
He's got his major, right?
Wisconsin looking for its 2nd bonus point victory early on in this duel. They get the fall from Braxton Amos.
Riding time.
And with the riding time point, a 10-1 major decision. The 5th bonus point victory of the season for Nicolau Rivera.
Great match by Rivera. Look at this counter off the single leg here. Was able to hit here. Right here off his shot. Sanchez in a really good position to be able to score. We'll watch him stomp his leg down, and not only stomp his leg down, but then ram his hips into him here. Double overs. Got the takedown.
Badgers off to a great start. And now it's their All-American Zan Fugitt, 10-2, coming off one of his best wins in his career as he beat Drake Ayala Friday night in Iowa City. And there is Zan Fugitt, the redshirt sophomore, 10-2 on the season. Won the Cyclone Invite title as well. And scoring some points, 7 bonus point victories, 5 majors. Beat Ayala 6-5.
Yeah, the All-American last year. An excellent NCAA tournament. You could see him start to come on. And, you know, ranked number 14 in the country, but with that last win against Ayala, he's certainly going to move up. That weight class is so tough this year, isn't it, Shane?
So stacked. No Braxton Brown, the 3-time national qualifier for Maryland today. Instead, it is Abram Klein. He's a redshirt freshman. He's a 125-pounder, bumping up, brings an 11-7 record. There's a shot from Fugitt. He's from Chula Vista, California, Granite Hills. Multiple-time placer. Doc B runner-up in 2023, a Fargo Freestyle All-American. Doc B going on this weekend as well. One of the best high school tournaments in the country. No score, 45 seconds in. Fugitt last season, Jim, 9th at the Big Tens. He scores the first takedown. Then as the 14 seed, becomes an All-American. What impressed you most about his run?
It's just, you know, his competitive spirit. You kind of see it out here right now, you know, going out there and diving. And there wasn't really much of a setup to that, but he was able to get to the leg. And I like his finishes. He's got a nice little arm drag series that he's able to work against guys that and then
Keep the arm legal.
hit the leg. He attacks both sides of the body, but he is strong. He's in good physical condition. You know, and kind of moving into a leadership role in this program. You got to build it around some guys, and he'd be one of those key guys that you do that with. And this march that Chris Bono wants to make back towards prominence in this with this Wisconsin program, that's got to be part of the deal.
Mention that win over Ayala.
Hold there, green.
That was a national semifinal match.
Neutral.
Ayala beat him 7-3. In the dual meet, Ayala beat him 21-6. He teched him last year, so he's made big-time gains. Big time.
Lots of strides. So, again, a lot of forward pressure here from Fugitt. He just follows it up. Again, he's got a, saw the single leg that he was able to hit. I love that finish that he hit right there. Felt Klein come over the top of him right there.
Outside single.
Now he's a little bit better angle, so he's going to go ahead and just elevate it there. Klein gave up on it pretty quick.
Second takedown here in this first period for Fugitt. 6-1 lead.
One red escape. Neutral.
Wasting no time after giving up that escape. Another leg attack and out of bounds, and that is going to draw a stall call on Klein.
42 seconds remaining in the first period.
You know, gave up that escape there, but he was certainly in hot pursuit. That a lot of straight-on motion there. And here's goes to a lot of fakes.
Keep the
Yeah,
hands
Jim, you
clean,
mentioned
man.
133. Of course, Lucas Bird from Illinois, the reigning national champion. Ben DeVino ranked second from Ohio State. Yesterday we saw Marcus Blaze. Fugitt in the mix as well.
Green. That's 3.
And inside of 15 seconds, third takedown of the period for Zan Fugitt.
Yeah, and that's the way you do it here. You put a lot of forward pressure on your opponent there, and then if you want to go ahead, hit that slide by.
Let's get to know Zan Fugitt. He's a 3-time state champion from Nixa, Missouri. Pan-American champion in 2025. And what a run as the 14 seed, 4th at the national tournaments. After getting beat in the semis, came back to take 4th. Lost to Zeth Romney of Cal Poly 7-3. But he beat Nasir Bailey 4-1 in sudden victory. Pinned Connor McGonigal to set up that matchup with Ayala.
Yeah, that
Break. PD.
Clean
up the hands, guys. Both
of you, the consolation rounds would probably set up really well for somebody that's mentally tough here like Fugitt. You know, just get an opportunity to go ahead and make a run, keep high-paced matches, catch guys that after they just got beat, and run it back here and keep high-paced matches. It's amazing how well you can do if you just keep your attitude good in those consolations.
One of the faces of Wisconsin wrestling, Zan Fugitt, got riding time at 49 seconds, 3 takedowns. Just really active with his hands and feet.
Wrestle center.
Taking territory, getting to his ties, not hanging out, good attack rate.
Hey, fight him and go.
Hard snap.
Stay in there, nothing.
Now looking to beat that shoulder for a go behind and out of bounds.
And that's what he does really well. Gets that little drag. Saw the snap down and then gets a little drag off of that. Gets his arm, cross arm all the way up into the armpit and really follows around and actually glides really well. Right there, there's another example of it.
Wants to stay on his feet. Give the escape, little foot sweep there at the end.
Circle. Off edge.
Looking to join teammates Braxton Amos and Nicolau Rivera with a bonus point win here on this Sunday in Madison.
Green, that's 3.
Goes the other way. Now he's locked up a cradle.
Got a cradle locked up right off that shot. Running time over 60 seconds.
He's going to give it another go on his feet.
Green control.
A takedown here would end this match.
Red one, escape, neutral.
Giving the scoreboard a workout. Zan Fugitt. The takedown will end it.
You got the line.
Looking to score on the edge. And he's got both legs, the takedown and the tech fall. 19-4 tech fall for Zan Fugitt. His 8th bonus point victory of the season. Ranked 14th in the nation. And 5 in the column for Wisconsin as the Badgers extend their lead over Maryland. Out of North Olmsted, Ohio, wrestled at Spire Academy. 13-6 record for Kennedy. And for Exferd, 5-7 out of Moraine, Idaho.
Yeah, 2 evenly matched wrestlers here. Nobody's ranked at this point. A lot of underclassmen. And Kennedy in the shot, which Exferd basically gets out of it here pretty quickly. And these matches can be a lot of fun, Shane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they guys that are out there get an opportunity. They know they're wrestling in front of a big audience here, and little things like this and a big win in these situations can really give you a lot of confidence coming into the wrestling room.
Keep the hands
Both
clean.
these guys coming off a loss on Friday. Exford fell 8-3 to Iowa's Cale Peterson. And Billy DeCranker of Northwestern beat Kennedy 8-3. Kennedy 1-2 at the Southern Scuffle. His sister Kelly wrestles at Otterbein University in Westerville, Ohio, so wrestling family. No score, 1:10 into this first period.
Offense, men.
Exford this season picked up his first dual meet win back on November 15th. 9-8 decision over Abe Hermes of Ohio, and the Badgers 27-10 win over the Bobcats. Front headlock position.
Kennedy looking for a little ankle pick off that underhook. And it gets a little bit better angle of it, a little further away. Nice
Drops
job
it in a
reacting to
single
it.
leg.
Quite a few shots for
Head to the inside. Exford giving him some hips, crashing down with a heavy sprawl.
Yeah, he's stretching him out a little bit. And now you see where Kennedy's trying to get one more effort to get his head across there, gives up an ankle pick, but you see where Exferd just doesn't have any drive with that right leg. You know, if you drive him across with the opposite leg, you might have an opportunity to finish it. You might get it anyway.
Easy here. Break, I don't like that.
Yep. You heard John Quincy, the official there, saying he didn't like the position. He doesn't like it, I don't like it.
They'll reset with 51 seconds here in this first period.
And inside collar tie now. Just a
shot from space.
Right there. Yeah, shot from space. His head goes down. You can see where he has the range, maybe to get to those legs, but just needs a little bit more getting stuffed right now.
Wrestle through it here, man.
Take yourselves to it. 20 RK, finish period.
Yeah, we're pretty even. Even on aggression.
Both guys hand fighting. Collar ties, underhooks. Final seconds in this first period. No score to the second period as we bring in All-American Zan Fugitt. Zan getting the tech fall today. Congratulations, but I want to go to Friday night. You knocked off Drake Ayala 6-5 in the dual meet last year. He teched you 21-6. He beat you in that.
You need to get yourself up for every match that you have. That was quite a run to get to 4.
Yeah, I would say most of my strength came from God and the Lord just being with me every day, praying, staying in my Bible, and just really having faith in myself and in God.
You're one of the faces of this Wisconsin Badger team. How important is that responsibility for you?
It's a big responsibility. You know, I have to stay in every duel, even if I don't compete myself, and keep my team up. And we have a really good team this year, and I'm blessed to compete alongside these guys. So I'm excited for the rest of the year and Big Ten season.
Last year, you were 9th at the Big Tens. You go to Philly as the 14th seed, a really solid tournament to take 4th. What was it like standing on the podium for the first time as an All-American?
Oh, it was amazing. You can't beat that feeling. Looking forward to hopefully again this year. That's the goal. So, and hopefully my teammates ride alongside with me. So I'm really excited to get back into the swing of things.
Yeah, well, Zan, you know, once you're on that stand, where do you want to be next?
Of course, the top for sure. Definitely want to be a national champ. That's the goal.
There you go.
Looking at your teammate right here, Carson Exferd, in a scoreless match. What does he have to do to score?
I would say right now probably look for a turn. He's a tough, gritty kid, so I have faith that he'll gut it out. But I think just staying on this guy, keeping good pressure, he's got a good gas tank, so I think that'll be a key to victory for him here.
Tell me the best thing about Nixon, Missouri.
Oh, so many great things. I would say we have really good rivers. So that's probably my favorite thing is the rivers, and then obviously can't beat the people. Best people in the world in Nixon, Missouri. So.
Well, really appreciate the time. Congratulations getting the tech fall today, Zan. Looking forward to watching you the rest of this season. Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Zan Fugitt, one of those hammers in a loaded, and I mean loaded, 133-pound weight class in the Big Ten as Exferd rides Kennedy the entire period.
Yeah, pretty aggressive in the top position. Nice job. Now, an opportunity here to, grab effectively a 2-0 lead if you can get out quickly.
We're gonna start neutral.
Well, they're going to start neutral.
Hey, get your left hand.
So he's been given the escape.
No takedowns up to this point. A guy that weighed in for Wisconsin today is Peter Tomasevic. He is a state champ from Freedom, Wisconsin. And I just want to give a quick shout out to some friends of mine from Freedom as there's a takedown here from Kennedy. Was at a wedding, Adam and Maddie Voster's a couple weeks back on New Year's Eve.
Don't bait him.
Congratulate them. Tomasevic wrestled for them. 3-2 match.
Yeah, great answering takedown. Knew exactly what he wanted to do. Now he jumps back in another shot. So got the heck ridden out of him in the second period. Gives up the escape. So he's down 2-0, but that 3-point takedown.
Well, keep in mind the riding time as well. He's got that riding time at 1:50.
Yep, so he's effectively 3-3.
$60 seconds left here in this third period.
I'm not getting involved in this one.
You hear the That's great.
It was great audio.
Yeah, we got our audio.
Look at this.
The ref's mic'd up here, says, I'm not getting involved in this one. It's fantastic. Good news for everybody.
Kennedy looking to get that right arm out.
Yeah, he gets it. Covers there, gets the points.
So Kennedy picks up his second takedown this period.
You know, Shane, I really like that. You know, you got no points in the first period. You just got the heck rid out of you in the second period. You give up the escape and
Gritty.
right back out there.
Absolutely.
Start firing.
It's a gritty victory here for Ryan Kennedy. And I believe, Jim, this will be his first dual meet victory in a Maryland singlet. So congratulations to Ryan Kennedy.
Awesome. Yeah.
Who improves to 14-6, 2 takedowns in the third. Gives up the riding time point, but he'll take the win. And he'll remember this one the rest of his life.
Good work.
Season now up at 149. What intrigues you about this matchup, Jim?
Well, Carter Young has got a great single leg and a great finish, and he's just a guy that's struggled in the bottom position, throughout his career. But he's been able to go ahead, get to legs all the time, and is a good finisher right here. So it really was the match I was looking forward to in this dual meet. And there you see Young getting to the far ankle. If he gets to that leg, he'll get to the far ankle as well. He'll score. So an opportunity for him to stay tough in the top position. You don't want to give up anything too quickly because that's where he's struggled in his career. So we'll, interested to see how he's looking to improve in his senior season. He's capable of becoming an All-American. Coming out of high school, he was third on the ladder, right? In the in the National Open in freestyle here. So just wasn't able to put it together in Stillwater.
In 2021, you're referring to the World Team Trials. He was third. He beat Seth Gross.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And he was originally going to go to Northwestern, ultimately went to Stillwater. He's up 3-1 here, 145 in the first. And Zargo's off to a great start as he's looking to beat that shoulder. Zargo 10-1, 9-0 in duels, coming off a really nice win in Iowa City Friday night. He knocked off Ryder Block 8-3. That was a big win.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick up his pace in this one, and it's just
to stay in there, guys.
Make it a physical match. He's given up the first takedown, and sometimes, Shane, I just love when you see that scoring in the beginning. Even I wasn't, so many times I see guys that not able to score in the first period. You give up that first takedown, I mean, it just opens up the match. Look, see Zargo take some territory here. Hard collar tie. Good snap down effort there by Young.
Wrestle center.
Like Young, Zargo began his career at 141. In 2024, Zargo over 20 wins. He made some big strides. Coming off a redshirt season.
Out. Action got us there. Center here. Neutral.
He is from South River, New Jersey. Wrestled in Bergen Catholic.
Wrestle to stay in here.
You can hear the Jaron Quincy, the official, there, really talking kind of to Young. Is just going to stay in here. He goes, basically, Zargo is taking territory, and you've got to answer that either with a shot, good technique, snap down. But you certainly can't make a habit of going off the mat or get called.
2-on-1 for the Badger. There's a half shot from Young into a front headlock. Wrestling on the edge with 25 to go in this first period.
That's the loudest. Yeah, that's one of the louder times you've heard the crowd, and it brought themselves a stall warning on Carter Young with the lead.
Carter Young coming off his first dual meet win in the Maryland singlet, 5-1 over Sam Cartella this past Friday at Northwestern. Young with the takedown here in this first period. Sweep single attempt here from Zargo. Good counter from Carter Young. He's going to hang on to that left leg, and the first period comes to a close. Alex Clemson in his 7th season.
Says bottom.
Last season, their highest point total in most placers at the Big Tens. They placed 8th. Their best finish at NCAAs in over a decade. They were top 25. Had the All-American Jackson Smith, the first All-American in the program since Yusuf Hamida back in 2019. He's doing some good things there, Jim.
Yeah, the thing you got to respect about Alex Clemson and, you know, resources or whatever limitations are in the program, he has high expectations. He expects a lot for the Maryland program. Here's Zargo here. Front headlock, has an opportunity to go behind. Switches off to a double leg here. You can see the reach of Young. He's in a better position now to be able to score.
Look at this.
Yeah, just with a switch.
Was that impressive from Caleb Young? I mean, he looked like he was dead to rights, Jim.
He would hit that switch right there.
He's off of it.
Now a 6-2 lead for Young. On the staff of head coach Alex Clemson, Nick Bruschetta. He was an All-American at Virginia Tech. Got Ethan Laird, an All-American at Rider, and Cole Matthews was an All-American for Keith Gavin at Pitt. Zargo to his feet, and Young drives him out of bounds, and that's going to be a stall call.
Yeah, it's basically got up to his feet, and Young didn't have a mat return, but that stall call adds a point.
Russell to stay in here.
Alex Clemson
You got him? You got him?
wants to have a conversation with Jaron Quincy as they will meet at the front table.
Let's take a look at this counter here. Looks like Zargo almost has it, runs into a double right there. He's in pretty good position now, but he plants his head on the mat right there, and I think that's a little thing right there that you can't do in that situation. You know, try to keep your head up and square up so you don't give up those points, but he dropped his head, and that gave Young an opportunity to finish his double.
I like those new shirts the officials are wearing. Looks good.
Yeah, I really like it
You
too.
never go wrong with blue.
And that's kind of like that.
Ankle, 1, 2. He's off.
Mississippi uniforms right there. The little touch there looks great with the black.
Riding time over a minute for Carter Young. 45 seconds in the second period. And Zargo edges a little bit closer. It's a 2-point match here in the second period. Ranked matchup here at 149. Zargo goes back to that 2-on-1.
Russell center here.
Young's got to be careful here. Have to throughout this match, he's kind of kept his rear end right at the edge.
You got the line.
Short time, 10 seconds. And out of bounds. Carter Young was 6th at the Southern Scuffle. He beat Cross Warzalewski of Penn in the quarters, and an injury defaulted out. So he had to take accountable medical forfeit. That is his only loss, his only blemish on his record at 5-1.
What he's got to be careful of, Young, is that he just doesn't back straight out. You know, he's moved about 10 feet, you know, straight backwards in that action.
Hit twice already for stalling.
It's not a good visual. Now, taking his time coming back to the center.
You want him up? One red escape.
So Zargo will give the escape and we'll go neutral. 7-6. Again, Carter Young has that riding time at 119.
7-4 score. Yeah. Now, good job of turning the corner there by Young. He's got an opportunity to finish this up if he can get his head up.
Danger green, 1.
You hear that danger count.
Improve.
Zargo gets out of that criteria, but Carter Young scores another takedown, and he opens this match up.
Drop down. 1. He's out.
This has been a really good performance for Carter Young.
Ankle,
Yeah,
1.
it has. It's just, you know, he's got the offensive techniques down. You know, I don't think the match is over by any means, but a quick escape here makes it 10-5. He's got to kind of, you know, battle that the thought process of, hey, this is going to be hard here, and I'm up for the challenge.
Ankle, 1, 2.
Hear that drop down count once again. If it hits 5, it's an automatic stall call, but they can hit these guys for stalling at any point.
Yeah, right now with the
Ankle,
riding
1,
he's being able to do, that's
2,
you know,
3, 4.
riding time has been secured, so it's effectively an 11-4 score.
Another stall call on Carter Young, so a point to Zargo. Zargo there, Jim, did a nice job keeping those ankles of Carter Young. He couldn't really do much there.
No,
You're on, Red.
Okay, so
He's got the riding time locked up, so he's up by 6.
drops down the leg. Going to get the count again.
Keeping forward pressure.
Red's control.
The reach of Young has really been impressive in this thing. He stays with them. So it's a 10-6 score.
Just
11
seconds left.
11-6 effectively, so Zargo needs 2 takedowns at least. And if he gives up another stall warning, could be a lot of trouble here. Now in a better position with the front headlock. We'll see how Young was kind of a little crafty right there, gave up a little bit of space.
Oh, look at that from Joe Zargo. But it's going to be a little bit too late. Even if he does score here. No takedown awarded. 11-6 with the riding time points. So Carter Young on the weekend. A nice win at Northwestern. And on this Sunday comes to Madison and defeats Joe Zargo. Now 6-1 on the season.
That's life in the Big Ten.
Absolutely. Good start to the second half for Maryland. 15-9 now on the team scoreboard. Wisconsin with the lead. 157 pounds. Luke Meckler, a high school teammate of Nicolau Rivera, 25th in the nation, and Nathan Perry gets the call for the Terps. Luke Meckler, like Carter Young, began his career at Oklahoma State. First 2 years with the Cowboys. He's a third-year starter here at Madison. Another one of those guys, keeps improving. 9-4 this season.
Here we go, man.
6-3 in duels. He fell to Jordan Williams of Iowa on Friday night. That was a close match. It was 4-2. And Nathan Perry, the first dual meet of his career for Maryland out of Avon Lake, Ohio. Was a state qualifier, 2-6 record, coming off an 0-2 performance at the Southern Scuffle down at Chattanooga. Talked to Chris Bono last night, Jim, and I asked him, what are you most proud of with this team? He said, just like the Indiana Hoosier football team, we're a bunch of misfits, but we're a team, we're getting better, chip on their shoulder, and they have made big-time improvements.
Well, there's some talent on that team. let's face it. That's one thing that Coach Bono is always going to be about, is about hard work and improvement.
Takedown in the first 60 seconds for Luke Meckler. Like Nicolau Rivera, who we saw victorious at 125, he's from Stoughton. Multiple-time placer for the Vikings, Fargo All-American.
Stay legal
As
on that
Chris
arm.
Bono looks on.
Stay legal for me.
Got that arm behind the back there. You see, a lot of times guys will kind of sneak that wrist away from the guy's lower back here to help them get that side tilt action.
As a thigh pry. Riding time over a half a minute, tight waist.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see a leg come in right now, because see how wide Perry's legs are right there. His knees are out wide. It's really easy to kind of slip in the leg. So you see the wrist rides going right now. That may not be there, but the next thing
We're halfway. Let's work.
All of a sudden he's putting in the leg, because there's just a lot of distance there to be able to go ahead and change up into a leg ride.
Claw ride, thigh pry as well, keeping the weight on the hands of Perry. Riding time over 60 seconds now for Meckler, after securing the first takedown in the match. Talk about a crazy weight class, Jim. 157 will have a new number one, as Ty Waters of West Virginia got beat by Caleb Larkin. Larkin coming up from 149. They're all tough. All 10 of those weight classes, hammers everywhere. As Meckler going to get some near fall.
Yeah, off that claw ride. See how he has the wrist tied up behind that, so kind of bringing it back, lifting it off the back. Actually off kind of like the rib area, kind of the floating rib. And that little twist right there allows you to go ahead and turn the shoulders a little easier. So that wrist away from the back, one of the things that the official look for. They're not going to let you do that too much.
Nice first period here for Meckler. A takedown, a turn for 4. Already over 2 minutes of riding time. He'll finish the period on top and take that 7-0 lead to the second. On Chris Bono's staff, John Reeder, national champ at Iowa State. Tony Cassiope, national or All-American at Iowa. There you see Garrett Model. He is in between John Reeder and Chris Bono. And Garrett Model wrestled at Stoughton as well. He was gritty. Garrett Model was gritty. Couple-time national qualifier for Wisconsin. There you get a look at the Wisconsin corner.
Controls red.
You mentioned, Caleb Larkin moving up from 149 to 157. That was, I couldn't believe he made 149. This is the Arizona State 49-pounder. He moves up and wrestles Ty Waters from West Virginia, the #1 ranked guy, and beats him 4-2.
My internal clock
this past weekend. So it's like, that weight class is wide open. But we saw the Larkins at. For the wrestle for Arizona State, we saw them at the national duels, Shane, and those guys are must watch. They get themselves into some funky situations, and two guys that don't really look the part, but they understand totally what they're doing. They're like modern day Satia brothers, They've got that type of unique approach to the sport. It's fun to watch. Different body styles.
11-0 now for Meckler halfway through the second period. Yeah, Caleb up at 157 and Kyler down at 133. Two fantastic weight classes. Their dad, of course, a national champion, and Dan Hodge, trophy winner as well. Eric Larkin for the Sun Devils. 2.5 minutes of riding time. It is all Luke Meckler.
Wrestle to score here.
Wisconsin leading at 15-9. We began at 197 pounds.
Now prove.
Yeah, Meckler totally committed to these this claw ride, wrist rides, kind of bouncing to both sides.
Red, it's bottom.
It's really, that's tough because for Perry, he's having a difficult time, and a lot of this is with your experience there. Unable to clean his wrist up.
Third period, red choice.
This Friday, Seymour Wrestling live on Big Ten Plus when these Terps lock up with Purdue and the Badgers square off against Northwestern. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It is always game on.
Get set for me. Hold there. Now green. One red, escape. Neutral.
Ohio State leading Indiana 30-0.
That's an interesting choice there that the
clean hands here.
Perry taking the bottom position, but Meckler gave him pretty much the intentional release. I think that they knew with how dominant he was in the top position that perhaps Meckler would let him up and work for the tech fall here.
Single leg. A single leg. Treetops a single leg. Anticipates the roll from Perry and scores 3 more. And now he's in tech fall territory.
One red, escape.
That's what I'll do this afternoon, Jim. I'll go to Big Ten Plus and check out all the great action in the conference from the weekend as Meckler gets the takedown and the tech fall. Luke Meckler, double-digit victories against his redshirt senior campaign, picks up his 10th win of the season. Wisconsin extends its lead after the match at 1. And Goebel wrestled Mikey Caliendo. Fell to the national finalist 21-6. Mikey Caliendo does that to a lot of guys. And Rodrigues quickly in on a shot. Goebel able to square his hips up.
Yeah, Rodrigues stepping out there going. These are fun matches again. Another one of these, bouts here. Guys with close to 500 records can. Rodrigues gets to a little bit better position right now. See if he can be able to finish that up. He gets to his feet. See where Goebel is able to pick the hands. Right.
Continues to fight a single leg.
Yeah, this time he's got his grip a little bit better. He's got the outside hand with the palm down, but that wasn't enough here, and Goebel's able to pick that grip. You pick on the inside part of the grip when they put their grip over the top like that. You can kind of go after it, but Nice job by Rodrigues being aggressive.
Goebel, a national qualifier. He was a 31 seed after a 9th place finish at the Big Tens. 7-4 on the season. A runner-up at the Cyclone Invite fell to Connor Uten of Iowa State. No score as we approach the midway point in the first.
Well, this time you've got Goebel working with the 2-on-1.
Pretty even on attempts. I got some shots on red, upper body on green.
We're moving, AJ.
Rodrigues wrestled at the Big Tens as a true freshman back in 2024. Redshirted last season out of Mount Airy, Maryland. At least that's what the lady working at Walmart told me it was.
That's a true story.
Mount Airy.
Yeah.
I wasn't positive, so I called up the Walmart.
Well, let's give some
Mount Airy. I went to the automotive department, and the young lady said, yes, it's Mount Airy. So
no, you found
if
that.
I'm wrong,
Shayna,
it's her fault.
All right. People just don't understand how much detail that you go into in your preparation here. You made that phone call what time this morning? Right when the Walmart opened up?
It was early.
Yeah. If you want to be here.
No score, 40 seconds left.
Ordered a set of tires.
Made that oil change appointment because I'm embarrassed to admit it, Jim. I couldn't change my oil to save my life.
Easy here.
I've never changed a tire. You're losing respect by the second. I can just tell. Scramble continues inside 30 seconds. Rodrigues pushing back in. He's got that.
Keep that leg elevated. Yeah, he lost that leg. You know, he had it bumped down to his hip right there. Lost that pressure. Now you've got a better position here for Goebel to come back up, and he does. He gets his head up and he wins the scramble.
Great work by Goebel as he gets the takedown in the final seconds of the first. 3-0.
Well, that's two-part. He was able to get it. He's bumped over on his hip, and he was able to go ahead and shuffle his feet. Right now, he's in this position right now, and he makes a decision. I'm gonna come underneath, and I'm gonna get up. Right, wrinkle in the back of your neck. Get up.
Hold there, Green.
Makes a big difference, and it helped that Rodrigues put his head down.
Rodrigues wrestled at South Carroll, was a 3-time champ, also a really good football player. Goebel starting period on bottom. Rodrigues with a claw ride looking for a big mat return, and he's able to put the Badger in some trouble. Goebel was fortunate to get back to his base.
Yeah, good job with the claw ride and the lift right there. Get a little bit tighter on it. And now what they're going to call is...
Right here, man. Corners.
Yeah, we got a brick on this.
Maybe looking for some near fall.
No, I don't think he had any swipes there. Maybe at one point he got a 1 count. You know, Shane, it used to be 1 count.
I was just going to ask you about that. I did not know that until you told me that recently.
You know, with all the side tilts, they've moved it to, you know, from the top position. But I wouldn't mind seeing it go back to a 1 count from the feet to back, right? You take a guy from his feet to his back right there, 1 count maybe, instead of giving up some back points.
Of course, in dual wrestling,
things.
Each team gets a challenge brick. If you are wrong, you are out of challenges. Here's another look.
Yeah, you can see his shoulders go to 45 for just not even I don't even know if they got there, to be honest with you. But you got a brick in a key situation like this. That was a good effort by Rodrigues.
And the referees are able to review anything at their discretion. But this is an official challenge from Alex Clemson and the Maryland corner.
Yeah,
you change oil, Jim?
I don't now, but I used to. Okay, and I've changed tires before. I'm a real man. Yeah,
I need to learn. I need to learn how to change a tire. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, putting gas in. I mean, that's where it ends for me.
Yeah.
Here's the call.
The call, the mat is upheld. There is no near fall.
Call is upheld, no near fall. So Alex Clemson in Maryland out of challenges. Wisconsin still has its challenge. We'll reset 1:43 in the second.
Hold there.
Goebel goes back on bottom. Scored that late takedown in the first. He wrestled for John Wiersbicki at McGuanago High School. Was a state medalist. And a quick escape makes it 4-0.
Like the adjustment that Goebel was able to make there. He cut that arm off right there so that claw ride wouldn't come in. Now this is a really important situation for Rodrigues. Can he go ahead and get his head out? He doesn't really have very good grip on it. The grip is split. Little dump action there by Goebel.
Run headlock.
Yeah.
Underhook. And now you look at Rodrigues coming up in his stance.
Wrestle center.
Yeah, I like the aggression by both guys here. They had shots. Go behind attempts. Now another shot there by Goebel. CD does a little bit better job of keeping his upper body in a little bit better position here with the keeping around the leg. He's not, notice how he's not spread out. His hands are down low. Not spread out where his hands are away from him.
Here, man. Keep working.
Tried to limp out of that right there.
Opportunity here with 40 seconds. He's got some time. Looking to drag Rodrigues.
You gotta keep dragging
in the cylinder. Keep dragging him, exactly.
Yeah, and that's, he just needed maybe 1-2 more drags.
He had time.
Let's work here.
Still has some time. Reaches across that far ankle and drives through and scores on the edge, and then it's waved off.
It's waved off because he came off the ankle and went right to the waist, and that's just a huge waste of a great opportunity to score.
Let's go, Red. Hustle.
Now let's take a look at this. See how he's at the far ankle, and he let go of it and came around the waist with this underhook, but that's not where you want to be. If you're in the center of the mat, I can go for that, but
stopping the action. I believe they are adjusting the scoreboard. There you see Wisconsin 7-0. So they got to take that take-on off the board.
riding time is probably one of the things that are trying to adjust here.
Next Friday, of course, it is Friday Night Wrestling. Penn State at Iowa right here on the Big Ten Network, Minnesota and Nebraska as well. Might be fixing riding time now. Look at John Reeder, national champion for the Cyclones in 2011 in Philly. Remember that iconic picture of him with the head wrap.
Yeah, bleeding through the bandage.
He is a warrior. Just an awesome guy. Super positive. So the confusion continues. And I've been in these situations. There's some pressure down there, and you know, people are on you to change the clock, and it's not that easy, I will say that.
Yeah, being the timer in those situations, and you know, the referee did call the points, and then you get the riding time going, then you got to figure out where you
wave it off.
Wave it off. Yeah, it's not easy.
Friday Night Wrestling cannot wait to get to Iowa City. The knit displays and Drake Ayala. Nebraska, Minnesota, always good. Another match, Jim, at 125. Luke Lillidahl and Dean Peterson. Dean Peterson beat Lillidahl last year when he was at Rutgers in that dual meet.
One round escape, neutral.
So many great matchups, and you know it's going to be crazy in Carver.
Offense,
well, you know, historically, that's where a lot of winning streaks have gone to die, but this is, you know, a Nittany Lion team.
A different kind of monster, Jim.
Yeah, it really is. And
wrestle center.
4-1 score.
Nice shot there. Opportunity for
tie this match up.
Get back in this match right there. He's got the leg up, shelf up high, looking to stay in the middle of the mat. You don't want to run him too far up, right?
There's a roll as he dives for an ankle.
Oh, you got to anticipate that something like that's going to happen. Now, keep your head up. You don't want to give up points here if you're Rodrigues. Now, if you're Goebel, you're going to come out the back door. You've got to free your ankles up now. Now he's got the arm around the hip. He should be able to score if he just keeps on working and turning. Posts his hand up on the mat.
It looked like Rodrigues was going to tie this match up, and now Goebel with the advantage position.
That's it.
That's great.
And takedown for Goebel, his second of the match. He leads it 7-1. mentioned before with John, we were speaking to head coach at McGuanago. Another guy that does just a phenomenal job is a guy named Randy Dewson. One of the most selfless guys I know. He does a ton for McGuanago Wrestling and for the state of Wisconsin. I know he's watching today. You got to have those people that do so much, the youth level.
Another shot there by Rodrigues. Too late, and now a little go behind into a shot here by Goebel.
He was able to get to the leg several times.
He's got an opportunity to limp out.
Finish.
Yeah, limp out.
Takedown here would give him the major decision. And he tries to chase it down, but time expires. Cody Goebel, the redshirt junior, picks up the decision and improves to 8-4 on the season.
He just won the scrambles.
Good win for Goebel and the Badgers at 165. 174 pounds. Seth Digby, a true freshman for Maryland. And Luke Condan, he's a redshirt sophomore, second-year starter for Wisconsin, 75 record. 5-4 in duels. There you see Condan making his way to the center of the wrestling. He's from Poway, California, California state champ. An All-American in both freestyle and Greco at Fargo. Coming off a loss to Patrick Kennedy. The Hawkeye majored the Badger 14-3. Seth Digby from Lake Bluff, Illinois, wrestled at Lake Forest. Multiple-time placer. Digby 1-3 in duels.
Stay on, Lieutenant. Our guys aren't there.
But all four of those duels wrestled at 184 in place of Jackson Smith. Jackson Smith has not wrestled since November 15th, the All-American for Maryland. So Digby down to his natural weight class, and he's scoreless with Condan 45 seconds into this first period.
Heavy collar ties by both guys there. There's really underhook off of that collar tie. Felt like he was going to go ahead and jump into a pick there, but good action. But these guys are clubbing each other.
Here we go. Somebody bleeding. Got blood.
Yeah, no shock there.
With that win from Goebel, Wisconsin has secured the dual meet victory. So the Badgers, with the win today, improved to 9-1 overall, 1-1 in the Big Ten. Next Friday, they host Northwestern. And for Maryland, they fall to 4-3 overall, 0-2 in the Big Ten. Next Friday, the Terrapins host Purdue. And then next Sunday, they are at Indiana. Coming up, a women's hoops triple-header tips off with Illinois against Penn State. Then, 14th-ranked Iowa faces Indiana, and UCLA battles Nebraska in a top 25 matchup. It all starts next here on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Get a chance to see a little bit later on tonight Lauren Betts. UCLA 14-1, Nebraska, their women 14-2 behind Britt Prince. And of course, we talked about it yesterday. Nebraska men have won 20 straight after beating Indiana yesterday. Next up, Penn State and Illinois.
Ready? Here we go.
All right, here we go. 2:03 in the first period. Some great winning streaks taking place. Penn State wrestling at 78. Fred Hoiberg and Nebraska 20 straight for the mayor and his crew in Lincoln.
Good job, Fred.
Fred could fill it.
Yep.
Legend.
Wrestle through it.
From Ames like yourself.
Yep. Aims high, aims high.
I like that. Ames high, aims high.
Yeah, it's part of the fight song and everything. It's just grew up listening
What's the
to that.
mascot there?
The Little Cyclones.
That's right, the Little Cyclones. When you start wrestling as a 5 to 7 year old, you're a whirlwind, and then you grow into the little cyclone, and ultimately you become the big storm.
Shane, Central Junior High was the whirlwinds, okay? So you didn't become a whirlwind until you got to junior high, right? Yeah. And before that, you're just spitting the wind.
1 minute, Seth. Go find it. Go find one.
Digby and Condan scoreless after 2 minutes.
Oh, nice little shot right there. He gets to the far ankle. He should be able to score here.
Stay locked.
Really well done.
Right there, neutral.
And he's got the takedown.
Yeah, I think, you know, look at the body language of the coaches. I mean, that's what they were talking to him about the break. You know, what to do off that underhook and get to your shot.
Clean him up at the break, boys.
Always like looking at the you know, the coaches to see what they're doing, because they're so kinetic. They'll tell you, hey, we go underhook or post and hit that. And I think that's what he did in that situation, and got all the way to the leg.
Now he'll want to finish the period on top. Gets that far wrist.
Now improve.
Up on those shoe tops. Putting the pressure on Digby.
Yeah.
Condan last season, 15 and 12, 4 and 4, Big Ten duels for Wisconsin.
Yeah. Digby has issues of trying to keep his wrist clean, okay? When you have your elbows out like that and your wrists in, it just makes it so easy to grab them. Let's take a look at this post single here. Right there, post, gets to the leg and comes all the way to the far ankle right there. Didn't even have to drive to it. He could do it with his long reach. And now it's just a matter of slowly circling around here until the opponent gives up on that position.
Action is stopped. You see the blood on the singlet of Condan.
You know, we saw earlier in the earlier match that, you know, you're hanging on the ankle there trying to go ahead and finish, and then guys will come up and get around the waist too quick, and then you invite a whizzer. And at that time, he just did a great job. But once it got to the far ankle, he just squeezed a little bit, slowly moved up, and made the opponent give up.
See the blood on the right finger or fingers of Digby, looking for a mat return.
One green escape.
Condan adds to his lead with the escape, 4-0. The quick escape in the second. Condan this season at the Cyclone Invite, a runner-up to MJ Gaitan of Iowa State. Gaitan had that big win early against Patrick Kennedy of Iowa in the Cy-Hawk duel, won by the Cyclones.
That was one of the strangest dual meets.
Look at this. Some upper body from these guys.
I'm going to let them come to you. I'll come around if they keep going that way.
Seatbelt action there by Condan. Wants to keep him up on the mat. He had the lock there.
Action got us.
Notice how he turns his wrist to the inside right there. And so you get that forearm right there in that floating rib. Ran out of real estate, but that's good technique.
Set fire. Set fire.
You ever had somebody bear hug you where they got to the floating rib, Shane? All right.
I did. You know who did it once to me? Nick Simmons.
Oh, my gosh.
Nick Simmons, the East Lansing Strangler. What, 3-time Big Ten champ?
Yeah.
He was coaching at Indiana, and he came up to me. Big Ten championships were in Indiana. I believe that was 2018. And Nick, him and I go way back. Great guy. He came up behind me, just gave me a little bit of a squeeze.
Oh.
Slipped a rip.
Yeah. Well, he facilitated more naps.
That was some strength.
He facilitated more naps than a kindergarten teacher. He could choke you out, man.
The East Lansing Strangler, Nick Simmons, one of the all-time greats at Michigan State. Him and his brother Andy. And look at this. Condan drives through, gets his second takedown, extends his lead 7-0.
Well done. Just good constant pressure. Just, you know, forward pressure, getting his hands moving.
Man, let's work, both of you.
Going to take riding time over a minute. Controlling that near wrist. He's got Digby flat. Condan will take this lead to the third.
Yeah, just coming off the underhook. Again, that's just another thing that, you know, during that break here where they had the blood timeout here, I think Tony Cassiope was talking about going to the underhook and attacking the far leg right there.
Hold there.
Condan's coachable.
Hey, to your time. To your time.
Off. Optional start, Red. You want to reset? You good? Okay.
Optional start from Condan.
One red escape.
Haddon gives the
Neutral.
escape. 7-1 match. Wisconsin looking for more bonus points. The bonus point parade began at heavyweight with Braxton Amos, who got the fall. Branson John began the dual meet with the win at 197 for Maryland.
Action,
And after that pin from Amos, Wisconsin has led the rest of the way.
Fire!
You good with red? You good on red next to?
Good stance.
Yeah, good job
Work
off
on
that.
underhook.
Yeah,
Well done.
hits the collar tie. Hits that underhook.
Throws it by, gives 3 more.
Throws it by, but gets into the leg.
One red, neutral. Red.
You know, I don't care who you are. You need matches like this. You know, if for Condan, this is it's a big situation for him. You know, to all of a sudden, you know, guy that has not done bad so far this year, but you need some of these matches here where you can really put the points on and walk off with some confidence and some blood in the mouth.
Another takedown. A couple of quick takedowns for Luke Condan, looking to sprint through the finish line. Up 13-2.
Stalls red.
Another stall call on Digby. Dives in from space on the shoe tops.
Yeah, that's so common what happens. You get a stall warning on the guy, then you can
Take bad shots, you panic a little bit.
Right, exactly.
Green. That's 3.
And 3 more. He's got the riding time locked up, so if he's able to ride in the final 10 seconds, it'll be a tech fall for Luke Condan. Really picked up his pace and chased down those points. Rates 18-3 tech fall for Luke Condan. And the redshirt sophomore improves to 8-5, 6-4 in duels. Nice job with those takedowns.
Yeah, like I said, it's nice, you know, going right the way through the season and getting.
Match at 184. Wisconsin improving to 9-1 overall, 1-1 in the Big Ten. 184 pounds. David Malin, a redshirt freshman for Wisconsin. And for Maryland, Sapanta Ange-Elias. Ange-Elias, true freshman, making his Maryland dual meet debut. He's been wrestling in open tournaments. 12-5 mark. He's out of Gaithersburg, Maryland, Bullis School. National Prep All-American, also a really good athlete, soccer player. And this is the first dual meet for Malin as a Badger. So a couple of guys, Jim, making their dual meet debuts. Somebody's going home a winner.
Right.
Neutral.
Ange-Elias
It's got the bottom leg scooped. Got
Neutral. Red 3.
scores
Takedown.
the first takedown 20 seconds in.
goes right into a leg ride right there. Nice
Ankle.
job.
1, 2.
Malin is from La Crosse, Wisconsin, a 2-time state champion at Aquinas. And like Ange-Elias, multi-sport athlete. Football, wrestling, and track. A Fargo All-American. Aquinas has had really good high school football teams.
You know, sometimes you get
score
these
here.
guys that, you know, did other sports in high school. It takes them a few years to kind of develop and get into it. But, you know, you've got now things to work on. And one of the things that's always difficult when you're moving up into this level of competition is getting out from underneath. So Malin's, particularly with that leg in like that, right? Now he comes up to his feet, trying to split the grip.
Red's control.
Kind of push the hands away,
Red control.
right?
1 green escape.
Looked like
Neutral.
Ange-Elias basically, you know, caught him in that position, didn't really try a mat return.
Wrestle center.
The Badger
Halfway, man.
12-4 this season in open tournaments. So very similar stories for both these young wrestlers.
He'll go behind the temp there, drops in on the leg as Malin. He's in a good position to be able to score.
Rolled through.
Yeah, that's a nice job of rolling through by Angelis. Yeah, and so he's trying to bury his right shoulder up underneath the crook of that knee. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. Got it locked right there.
Cross face from Angelis looking for his second takedown. And he's got it.
Breaks that grip, pops his hips in, and scores the points. Good scramble.
Looking ahead to next Friday night. Speaking of 184, Angelo Ferrari of Iowa ranked #1. Rocco Welsh, a national finalist a couple of years ago, ranked 4th for Penn State. Can't wait to watch those two scrap.
Now improve.
I just want to start walking Iowa City, Jim. I am ready. I am ready to go.
Yep.
Promise you that. Figure 4 from
Now
Angelis, 2 takedowns for the Terp and a 6-1 lead of the second. What is you most excited about that duel meet? What are you most curious to see?
Oh, the matchup at 133, you know.
Blaze and Ayala.
Yeah, Marcus Blaze is
11-0, all bonus point victories.
Yeah, I mean, some of that's the competition, but I would say this is that we know what we have there with him. And Ayala's been struggling a little bit. He lost to the Iowa State meet, and then he lost in the match with Fugitt here.
at National Duels.
Davino at the National. So that's 3 losses here, which is uncharacteristic.
Fugitt on Friday night.
Yeah, that's 3 losses, but you've got a guy who's a 2-time national finalist can find that mojo again.
He's won some big matches inside Carver. Go back to last year, he beat Lucas Bird in the duel. Lucas Bird got him at Big Tens in the national finals. But Drake Ayala, 2-time national finalist, he will be ready to go.
So, I mean, both guys will be prepared for that match.
If you had to give Marcus Blaze, Jim, any advice, and this guy's been on the biggest stages, but if you had to talk to Marcus Blaze, his first time in Carver, that's a different place. What are you telling him?
Well, I don't know if he has been on the biggest stages. I know he's wrestled for world titles and all that stuff, but he's obviously been a state champion and
4 times.
Yeah, I think he's going to enjoy going into Carver in front of that audience, right? And with all the
built for that stuff.
Yeah, I really do. I think, and then that's what's going to make it good. And he's going to be going against an NCAA runner-up, so it's the challenge. And I think that in a different way, Ayala's going to be prepared for. So that's the match I'm looking forward to the most.
40 seconds in the second period. Angelis riding time over 2 minutes.
The reason why I say that is that some of those world championships are wrestled in front of 500 people.
Sure. Yeah, not big crowds compared to what we see in the Big Ten.
Ready to count.
Angelis looking to turn the hips and the shoulders. Outstanding wrestler brought to you by Cliff Keen Athletic. It is Badger heavyweight Braxton Amos. Got his 5th fall of the season, improved to 12-2. Giving the Badgers the lead after the second match in this duel meet, and Wisconsin has never looked back. There is Braxton Amos, up to heavyweight, weighing at 270.
If he keeps it up, man, he's going to be cutting weight for heavyweight.
I want to know what he's eating.
Yeah, I think I know what he's eating.
He's eating a lot.
He's eating what I ate for the last 40 years.
Looking to work up.
Yeah, but some of the happiest people you ever meet in the sport are people that go from 197 to heavyweight.
Another takedown for Angelis, and he'll go back to work on top. Good performance for the true freshman from Gaithersburg, Maryland. Slides a leg in. Riding time locked up.
Outproof.
Chance here for a bonus point victory to end this dual meet.
Ankle.
Yes. Keep coming hard.
Green's holding this hand. That's a stall.
Stall call on the Badger.
Open his hips up.
Improve here.
If you're on bottom in these situations, Jim, especially, he's a redshirt freshman. What does he need to do?
Well, you spend a lot of time in your program. If guys come into your program that don't quite have the feel from the bottom position, getting back up and, hipping down and, getting some back pressure back into the guy and maybe threaten him with the reversal, maybe even threaten him to his back if he gets too high with the legs. But that takes so much time to develop. And, and really with the three-point takedown, you see a lot less and less of it. It's become less important. But I always state this, is that in order to be aggressive on your feet, it's knowing that you can get out quickly from underneath makes you much more aggressive and much more fun to watch.
With the riding time points, it's a 13-1 major decision for Sapanta Ange Elias. His first dual meet victory as a Terp. Final thoughts, Jim?
Hey, you know what? Terps came in here and battled with some guys that are get some experience here. We see a resurgence in the Wisconsin program. They got some leadership. It'll be fun to talk to Braxton Amos in a little bit. Fun meet.
Wisconsin victorious on this Sunday afternoon in Madison. Now 1-1 in the Big Ten. Next Friday, they host Northwestern. Maryland next Friday, they host Purdue. Again, the final score 28-13, Wisconsin over Maryland. That'll do it for Madison. For Jim Gibbons and our entire crew, I'm Shane Sparks. A women's basketball triple header is coming up, but let's send it to Mike Hall.